Are you ready to start a revolution?
Welcome to the show, Malique Hawkins, aka Leek from the Peake. You are from Chesapeake, Virginia, currently a senior at North Carolina A&T State University in Greensboro. You are an actor, music artist, motivational speaker, songwriter, and voiceover artist. There's loads more to discuss with you over what you do and what you're about. So welcome to the show, and please tell us more.
Thank you for the great welcome. Once again, I go by Leek from the Peake. I'm from Chesapeake, Virginia. I've been in the entertainment industry pretty much all my life since I was 18 months old, starting with acting and just started making music about 2.5 years ago. All clean music so that, it's already radio ready and able to be heard by the youngest possible listeners and also the oldest and anybody in between. We're really excited for the interview. Thanks again for having me, and I can't wait to get into it.
Right on, man. Well, I'm so proud of you. When you say clean, that's a beautiful thing to me.
Yes, sir.
And I want you to inspire a lot of your friends that write music to keep it clean, right?
For sure.
Not only keep it clean, talk about solutions. We're watching news at night for problems, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we don't have to do that though.
Right.
There's a lot of positive stuff going on, like the things that you're doing. Tell us more about what's going on in your life right now.
Yes, sir. So along with the music, I'm also the founder of a clothing line called The Movement Clothing, which is all about taking a stand against racism, suicide, bullying, and violence. I've been doing that since high school, actually. Been blessed to have representation pretty much in all 50 states in the United States, and trying to get some support overseas as well, of course. I've been doing that since high school, so that's something I'm really passionate about. That really came up by motivational speaking. That's what I was doing in the past. With that, I was talking about those same issues, racism, suicide, bullying, and violence, just things going on in our world and how we can do things to change it. And so the clothing line was just another way to kind of make the message I was already speaking about visual and visible for people. You know what I'm saying? So you might see the message on the back of the shirt, which says no negativity, promote positivity. And that might make a whole difference in your day. Or just wearing that shirt makes you feel like I might not be able to do this because what's on my shirt right now? You know what I'm saying? So, and I've been working on some new designs right now to be able to, like, a new season, kind of like a refreshing, rebranding of the whole entire thing. So that's on the way soon. Yeah, beyond that, I also do voice acting. So I've been blessed to be the voice behind some pretty big commercials recently. Google Pixel had a commercial that ran during the Super Bowl. I was able to be the voice behind that with Lizzo. Also, I do a lot of work with Hasbro Gaming for their new products like Beyblade or other toys and games that they're coming out with. We've built a pretty good relationship, and we've been working with them for a few years now. So
yeah,
doing a little bit of everything.
A lot of voiceover stuff, right?
Yeah.
Tom, you got a question?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we've talked a little bit about your music. You're also the co-founder of 1891 Hot 10, which gives student artists the opportunity to hone their craft whilst continuing education. Can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Yes, so the 1891 Hot 10, it was started my sophomore year. Me, along with two other students who are now seniors at my school, we all started it together. DJ Biddy and Young Nell. Young Nell is an artist himself, and then DJ Biddy is one of the DJs on campus. And so we started it our sophomore year. Basically, me and Nell, both being artists ourselves at this point, trying to, really make that breakout. We personally understood the struggle of trying to manage going to class, paying for school. If some students are paying for school. I'm blessed to be on a full ride, but some students obviously are paying for school. So seeing how to balance that with the music, paying to get to the studio, paying to have a video, paying to promote the music, trying to build those connections and manage both. We've seen a lot of people end up either having to pick one, so either dropping out of school to only do the music, or having to put their music on hold because they can't keep up with that and school. So for us, the goal of the Hot 10 was just to be able to alleviate a little bit of both sides of that and create a solution. Like you said earlier, it's all about the problems, but somebody has to, provide that solution.
It's not about the problem, it's about the solution.
Yeah, so with that, what we do every year, we take 10 new artists from A&T, the hottest 10 artists. We do a whole contest to pick those 10 artists. We take them and we take that year to really try to develop their career in the music industry. So providing studio time, professional pictures, videos, interviews, promotion, shows for them to perform at, things of that nature. Just really getting that ball rolling and allowing them to be able to still focus on their school and have somebody else that can help aid everything else that they're doing with their music. So you don't have to just pick one. So it's been amazing. Obviously, last year was our first year, so we're actually going on a tour right now. We're going to 5 different colleges within the next month. bringing some of our artists to each of those locations, allowing them to perform, and also tapping in with the artists on their campus so that we can try to provide some of those same opportunities for other schools as well. It's like a showcase. So what we'll do is we would just take maybe about 20 artists, each one we did, and, you know, invite them out and allow them to perform basically for our whole school, like bringing out 20 people from our school. You know, each one of them might know 10 to 15 people. So it was fun. I was doing that sophomore years when I started that, and I was able to really like bring a lot of people together over music though. Like people always came together for parties or for campus events, but when it was music events, it wasn't really a big presence on campus unless it was people that were really, you know, in the music industry, making music themselves, producers. But the showcases were a way to really take the whole student population and bring some of their friends that are making music out, so they'll come out too. And it was a great event every time we did it. And so now we're doing that with the Hot 10 as well. Of course, allowing some of our artists to headline it, but allowing artists that aren't a part of our label to still be on those shows too, so they're getting that same exposure.
Bless you, brother, for that. I mean, you got a beautiful heart that you would share with people and try to bring people together, right? People will always remember you for that you brought people together, right?
Thank you. Yeah.
You got a really beautiful heart, man. And hey, you have our support. You can believe that, right?
I appreciate it.
All right. Ryan, you got a question?
Yeah. You're a busy guy.
Sure.
I guess my question is, I mean, you got a full ride. What's your degree in?
So I'm a business management student with a focus in innovation and entrepreneurship.
That's music to my ears. That's the most musical part of it. So how do you manage? I mean, how do you manage school with obviously recording and marketing and acting, you know, all the philanthropy and things like that? Where do you have the time? It's
really difficult. Well, now it's not so difficult. I'll say that, like, you know, I'm a senior, so I've been in this space having all these things to do now this is my 4th year going on it. But I would say like freshman year coming into college, it was definitely difficult to adjust because at that time I was doing vlogging too. So I was making YouTube videos. I was dropping videos like every week. So, you know, and I was editing those myself and everything too. So I will say like my freshman year, the vlogging was something that kind of had to take like a backseat. I was still obviously creating content and maybe, you know, posting it on Instagram and things of that nature. But sitting down and making those full-fledged videos, it was something that just it wasn't really fitting into the time schedule anymore. So with that, yeah, like I came in my freshman year doing a lot. I served as Mr. Freshman, which is the community service chair of the class, and also just a male representative of the class. So there's a lot of obligations that came with that, on top of, like you said, the music and everything else I was doing, acting, traveling back home for voiceovers and things of that nature. It's really just about figuring out, like I said, trial and error. Honestly, my freshman year, I'll say it was my trial and error year, just see like where I was messing up and what I'm doing better. And now I'll say that being a senior, my class schedule is a little bit easier. My classes are more spaced out and I'm not really on campus as much, so I have time. Also, I started during COVID, I set up a studio at my home so I can learn how to record myself, do a little bit of the engineering myself too. So with that, obviously that saved a lot of money from going to the studio and a lot of time, not because I can just roll out of bed or whatever, or whenever I'm at home, finish my homework early, I might just be able to record a verse real quick or something. So I'll say that's a big part. Really the self-discipline too, though, like making myself get in the studio, because some days I don't want to get in the studio at 3 p.m., but I know the rest of the day I'm not going to be able to. So I might sit here this afternoon, you know what I'm saying, and try to do a song real quick just because. So it's a lot. It's definitely a lot going on at once, but I'm blessed with a good support system as well. So it all gets figured out.
Yeah. Do you have a team, or do you have is manager, family, stuff like that?
Yeah, so my mom's been my manager through acting and everything like that all of my life. So she's also now once I started music, she definitely has been helping with that as well. Just some of the connections we already had from the entertainment industry. Now, you know what I'm saying, creating a new avenue through the music to nurture those same connections. Also, I've been blessed to work with a few people like Uncle Jams. He's a Grammy Award winner here. He lives in Indianapolis, and he's blessed me with a few opportunities as well. So just a lot of people that, you know, have chose to pour into me whatever they can, and just provide whatever support and help they can along the way. But yeah. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting the journey. Got a long way to go.
What do you like the most? Acting, singing, writing? What?
I probably say I like the music the most, but I think it's just because that's something I can do completely on my own time. Like the acting or something else, I'm always going to depend on somebody else to have you know what I'm saying, have a project ready for me to play that role. Like with the music, if I wanted to make a song every day, I could do that. You know what I'm saying? So I think just because I can do it like literally all by myself, I don't really need, obviously, you know, you need other people, but you know what I mean? Like I can make a song every day without needing anything else to fall in line. So I think just
but can you make social conscious music every day?
I try to just make a lot of music. So when it's time for me to release, you know what I'm saying, I have a lot to choose from. So some days I might just try to have fun with it and switch it up and do something different. And some days I might really have something more hard I want to talk about. Or sometimes like I will try to get in the studio and I feel like I don't have nothing to talk about. And I might take like 5 days to a week off and just go live some and go see what's going on and have something to talk about, you know.
On the conscious vibe, that's the lyrical content, right?
Yeah, right.
Now all I'm saying is, you know, there's over 5 billion love songs, but there's only 192 million social conscious songs.
Right.
So what we do here, we're trying to grow that number.
Got you.
On the social conscious side, right? Because life ain't all bad. There's some good news going on too, right?
Yeah.
Now, the instrumental part, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But the lyrical content is where you go consciously, and you could take that whole music thing, the emotion from music, to another level.
For sure.
With consciousness, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And I'd love for you to join our team. Being as young as you are, man, you can really help us because you can talk to the young people. They resonate with your message, right?
Right.
Try to inspire them to, let's write some songs that's going to lift us up.
Right. For sure. Now that's definitely something that was big on me. Like even before I was making music, J. Cole is one of my favorite rappers because I just felt like he always had a story to tell. He was always talking about something. So I know my friends probably used to get tired of it. I'll say when I was younger, probably like high school, if the rapper wasn't really talking about nothing, like I didn't even want to hear it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's how I was. And I'm sure my friends probably got tired of listening to what I was listening to in the car sometimes. Obviously, like I still love the flows and like just some of the styles of some other rappers that maybe don't talk about too much in their music. And I still listen to it like for the art. But at the same time, I love to listen to music that really has that story that is talking about things. And recently I've really been trying to, like, since I'm about to graduate, when I'm making music, outside of just talking about maybe any issues or social things that are going on, like I really try to just capture the essence of like being a college student. Cause I mean, I can only speak from that perspective for one more year.
That's right.
So
that's right.
So that's really what I've been trying to,
and everything.
Yeah, so I've really been trying to make music that like all the people around me that are with me right now be able to relate to. Like, you know, even referencing things that are on campus or something like that in a song. Just when people listen to it, they know.
You're talking lyrics right now. You don't even know it, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna write a song and invite you on it.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. I'm definitely gonna work.
Yeah, man, we'll do it, brother. You know what I'm saying? So, wow, it's gonna be cool because you're young and I'm old, so you can't.
Generational.
Right, we'll bring two whole different vibes to it. They're gonna mix together for sure.
Yes, music. Music's for everybody. It's not a number. It's not a color. It's not nothing,
at all.
right?
Just off the back of that, really, I suppose we've just exclusively hinted at a possible collab between yourself and Malique there. Have you got anybody in mind that you'd love to work with?
Oh, for sure. So some of these, I feel like in a few years, maybe it'll be realistic. Obviously, right now, maybe I'm not at that point, but just some of my favorite artists that I feel like I took influence from. I'd love to eventually be on a song with any of them, just because I feel like some of what I do comes from the things that I've heard them doing. You know what I'm saying? So people like Roddy Ricch, like I said, J. Cole, my favorite artist of all time. So that would be crazy to me. Roddy Ricch, Cowboy, J.I., A Boogie, just a lot of people like on that melodic rap wave. That's really what like caught my attention. Kodak Black. I got Kodak Black, J. Cole, and A Boogie on the wall in my studio right here. Like, so I feel like those are some of my biggest influences. So definitely any of those people. Drake as well, of course.
Put it out in the universe.
All your buddies that write music, they got tracks, but they don't write lyrics, right?
Like just the beats, you saying?
Yeah, just do the beats, you know.
It's I can actually speak on that too. Like here at A&T and even just throughout my music career, like I've met some great producers, some people like Swave 3K, my guy Black Code Productions. He actually we did a whole album together. My first album, he produced and engineered the entire thing. So it's some great engineers and producers I've been able to work with. So I can definitely
and there's going to be many more, right?
Yeah.
Whenever you go out to any kind of public function, there's going to be a lot of conversations and a lot of topics, right?
Right.
And what I should do is put it in my mental Rolodex, and I go, wow, everybody got excited when they was talking about that topic right there. And I go find some tracks that my buddies would give me, and then I can just write titles of wherever I want to go. And I write like 15 titles down, right? And I put it on the car seat over here. And as I'm listening to the music, if I start singing a melody with it, then I look over and if the words match with the melody, I got my hook.
Right. Easy. Yeah.
So there's gobs of music out there, man. Even if you don't have it all yourself, there's some cats got tracks and they don't write lyrics. They be happy to, yeah, go ahead, man. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah,
They don't write lyrics. You guys, 50-50, there you go. You know what I mean? You're all good. So I did just, years of tunes with people sending me tracks.
Right.
But then I didn't listen to the radio, so I wasn't trying to be influenced by anybody else's creation.
Got you.
You go, hey man, that sound like, I don't want that.
Right.
Now
that's something else.
Sound like me, right?
Yeah, that's something else I try to focus on, like when I'm in the studio. Sometimes, like some days I will go and like just listen to some of my stuff, just so I can lock in on like
that's what I'm talking
my sound is and what I want to sound like. Also, taking some days to listen to new music from my favorite artists or new artists to try to get some of that influence as well. But at the end of the day, like you said, like when I want people to hear my music, I want them to like not be able to really pinpoint who it sounds like. They might be able to, it kind of sounds like him, but they can't say it sounds just like anybody, Right.
You have to make your own sound.
Right.
And the way to do that is stop listening to other people. You don't want to follow anybody. You don't want to walk in a record company and they go, what's your music sound like? Oh, they say I sound like, we already got that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sounds like a hit. That's what you're telling me.
Exactly.
It sound like me. This is my music, right? Yeah. That's what you want to know. Ryan, you got another question?
2 questions. So the first one is, what's after college? What's the path for you there, or that you're trying to push through? And then the second question is, you brought up YouTube, we talked about YouTube a little earlier. You essentially grew up on YouTube. You know what I mean? You had to take a break from it, but how much does YouTube play in terms of promotions and marketing going forward in your career?
I have been blessed. I did do some internships and things like that over the summers through college. So I have been blessed with a few full-time offers from companies. So of course I want to do as much as I can with the music, but if it's at the point where that's not going to be able to support me financially as soon as I graduate, which would be totally fine, I do have some options and some companies that I would be able to work for and build that capital. But at the end of the day, of course, I'm gonna still be making music, still be put my time towards the Hot 10 and just really nurturing this whole entertainment thing as far as it can go. But I do have some backup plans if that's what I need to support.
Okay, so not necessarily in the music industry, but more in business.
Yeah, in business for sure.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
And still branch that into and it'll still connect to the music industry eventually.
Exactly. For
sure. Yeah. And the second question, YouTube. I'll say YouTube played a big part. Like growing up, that was really like when I was doing the movement. When I first started the movement, when I was acting, all of that. This is before I was even making music. I feel like my YouTube channel was just a way for people that maybe weren't in my day-to-day life to be able to see a little bit more of me, not just the polished side, but be able to really see like what I'm like around my friends and really build some sort of fan base and supporters outside of just the people that knew me already. And then when I got to A&T, YouTube played a big part because everybody, like a lot of people in my area, like they hear about my school and things, but they don't really have a connection to really ask what it's really like or see what it's really like. So for me, I used like my first semester at school to really just like broadcast basically what life at my school was like, showing, you know what I'm saying, the party, showing us in the library study and showing us just going to the caf, anything, you know what I'm saying? So it was definitely a way to, like I said, build that fan base and really allow people to see who I was for real. But now it's definitely still a great tool. Obviously I use it more now for music videos or like even short, like if I do a remix to a song, you can't put that on Apple Music. So I'll put that type of stuff on YouTube as well.
Gotcha.
And then, any music videos, but I've been vlogging recently again. I got a cameraman that I'm working with. Shout out Make Away Productions. But I got a cameraman I'm working with now. So we've been vlogging at like some of my shows, some of my events and things like that. So definitely, like I said, using it again in the same way I was a few years ago, allowing people to see me past the music and see what I'm doing before the show or that weekend leading up to the show and things of that nature.
Did your mom say it was 5,000 people out there?
What you say?
Was there 5,000 people out there
Where?
at your show? At one of your shows?
Oh yeah, recently I performed at my school's block party. We have a block party every year. I performed at it last month, and it was probably about 5,000 people out there. And then I opened up for No Cap and a few other big artists that same night, actually at a music festival out here as well. So last month was crazy, and then this month we've been going on tour. I just got back from Indianapolis, Indiana last week. I had a show in Virginia the week before that, back in my hometown. And then we're about to go to Tennessee State, Texas Southern, and also Atlanta in these next few weeks coming up.
How are you going to balance? I mean, obviously you love the music, you love your music, the career, but like you said, like, how are you going to balance the aspect of like, well, I want to go on tour, but I might also have this full-time job, you know what I mean, for a corporation. Is it something you're going to have to choose, or are you planning to like, what's going to come first? Is it the music that's going to come first, or?
So I'm really like, I'm taking these like next few months before I graduate, before I have any other real obligation to really like hit the ground hard with the music and just see where that can take me and what position I can be in with the music by May, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But obviously, I mean, if I have a full-time job, it's gonna be my commitment. But on the weekends, you know, I can still make something happen. You know what I'm saying? I'll find a way to figure it out. I feel like I've always found a way to figure out balancing a lot of different things.
What do your parents want you to do? I guess
my parents want me to do whatever is gonna make sense, both financially and in terms of, you know, like following my purpose and my passion. But obviously, making a responsible adult decision as well, not just going out on a whim with anything. You know,
that's beautiful, brother.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, man.
I appreciate
definitely.
it for sure. Yeah,
Great
I
head on
appreciate
your
it for
shoulders.
sure.
Tom, you got another question before we go?
Well, yeah, just really, I mean, you've just talked really about your passion and your kind of commitment to what you're trying to do there. Do you find that you've had to struggle with getting other people involved? I mean, we mentioned slightly earlier about the Hot 10 that you do there. Was that a struggle to actually make that progress and other areas come into it? Or is it something that people have taken on board really easily for you? Have you found that a difficult kind of thing to spread?
Okay, so I think, yeah, at first it was definitely difficult. I think for people just to see like what our vision was with it. Because originally, I guess the way we presented it made it seem more like it was just going to be a list of the 10 hottest artists, and we're going to drop a mixtape with all of them on one tape together. And that was all it was going to be. But me and the other two founders, we just like, when we sat down and started actually doing it, once we picked the first artist, like we really wanted to make it more like a label, make it more so we really focusing on the artist development and providing these opportunities, not just saying, hey, these are the hot artists. So once we made that shift, I think it was kind of difficult for us to get people outside of the organization to see what we were really like, where the vision was, what we were really trying to do with it. So obviously we were doing events and we still had a great turnouts at those events, but it definitely could have been better. And so I think this second year though, we took the summer to really like go hard with how we want the marketing to be, go hard with what our plan was going forward. We built more of a team, like more of an infrastructure. Because at first it was just me, Biddy, and Young Nell doing everything on our own. So we have a whole team now that functions the way a real organization should. And so with that, I think because we're carrying ourselves a lot more professionally and putting that bread into the marketing and things of that nature, people are now seeing the vision. Now they see us going on tour and being at different universities and things of that nature. Like, okay, so they weren't just saying they were trying to do this, they actually doing it. So I think now it's not really hard to get people to see the vision and see what we're trying to do. But originally, yeah, it was just because people probably weren't really 100% sure what we were trying to do.
Collaboration is everything, brother.
For sure.
Networking and collaboration. My son, Ryan, he does digital marketing. Is that what you do?
Yeah, we use some tactics, digital marketing, like using different platforms.
I always go into these questions because this is where I come from, right? So
yeah,
I guess my question would be like Instagram or TikTok? Because I'm looking on TikTok. I don't know. You're using TikTok, dude.
Yeah. I be on TikTok, like I guess sporadically. I'm not really the biggest fan of it, but I definitely see the power in it. So I'm trying to get up there more often. I've always been more of a fan of Instagram. I think I feel like, I don't know. I think that's what I was accustomed to. But yeah, certain times, like when I don't have a lot going on, the way it works is like when I don't have a lot going on, like if I can be in the house, just recording and have free time to make content, I'll definitely hop on TikTok and maybe go crazy for a little while. So I know TikTok is all about the consistency though. So what I'm trying to do is really,
it all is really. That's why I asked you about YouTube earlier, is just because I was wondering if you were monetized on YouTube. You had a decent number of views on there, and then just wondering like you were taking advantage of YouTube Shorts yet, because I think that's going to be bigger than TikTok.
Oh, no,
in terms of, you know, promoting yourself for sure, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I think micro content is like obviously the new wave now. And it's kind of, it kind of works because you can use some of that same content and break it into pieces and make that different content on each of your platforms. So I think it's definitely a great opportunity. The whole micro content thing, definitely TikToks, the shorts, the reels, all of that. So like you said, I'm definitely, what I'm trying to do is take advantage of it. I spent the summer really like starting to create a little bit of content, but mostly build up my vault of music so that I would always have something accessible to drop. So now that
you're doing it right. You're a busy dude. And a full-time student. Like that's my son's a senior in high school. So when he watches this, You need to look at Malique from the Peake. You know what I mean? And get it together. You're a role model, man. Like even that, I was like, how are you become a motivational speaker in your teens? Like,
Yeah, right.
Appreciate it.
you know? So
No, I appreciate
great,
it.
man.
Now, the motivational speaking, how that came up is I actually had just did I was probably like 6 or 7 years old. I did a contest. It was like a Martin Luther King Jr. Day competition. You just had to like pretty much like remake his I Have a Dream speech or whatever. So I did that. I won like fan favorite at the event. I was like 7 or 8 years old or something like that. And after that, I just kind of enjoyed it. And so I kept doing like little competitions like that. But then it turned into people like asking, like, can you come speak to my church? Like speak to the kids at my church or speak to these kids at this summer camp and things of that. And so obviously having a different message for each place I go, but still talking about kind of the same message throughout, you know what I'm saying? Just positivity and avoiding that negativity that's surrounds us. So that's something I started when I was young. And like I said, that turned into the clothing line and then everything else from there.
What social conscious song have you written?
I have a song right now. Dang, it's actually unreleased. The first one that comes to my mind is a song that's unreleased. It's called Deep Thoughts. Y'all can be on the lookout for that soon.
All right.
A song called Deep Thoughts. But that's a song where I really talk about kind of the things that I face in my personal life and that other people are facing and how we can, like you said, it's really talking about the solution, talking about how you grinding every day. But at the end of the day, you know, you're saying you can get to that light if you just keep grinding. So yeah, that song is coming soon. I have a few though. If you check out my album, The Inauguration, which released last year, that'll have a few songs up there as well.
Spotify, and Apple, and
it's on all platforms. Yeah, Leak from the Peak, The Inauguration. And so I say the outro on that tape is kind of talking about some of those same things, talking about some of the things I was going through as I was getting ready to release the album. There was a lot going on at that time in my life. I think that album, definitely the outro, but the entire album, you'll get a good feel for the type of music I make, who I am, and what message I'm trying to convey.
Yeah, I was listening to some before we started. It's got some great stuff, man. I'm proud for your age, man. I'm blown away. I'm like,
thank you. I appreciate it.
I mean, my dad didn't even give me a singing voice. Dude. I didn't even
Oh, that's cold-blooded, man.
You know?
I thought you liked me.
Like I said, man, Gen Z, man, this is someone to definitely take inspiration from because full ride to college, philanthropy, clothing line.
Ambitious.
Busy.
Musician. I mean, so busy, but still, you're on the right path, man. Really,
no, man. You're a role model for a lot of people. That's why I'm saying I need you on my team to talk to young people and try to inspire them to write social conscious lyrical content. Now, you send me your email and I'll play you some so you can see the kind of feel I'm talking about, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's perfect.
I've written a lot of it.
I got you.
Yes, we need a lot more of it. And to so people will come out and go, wow, man, I just had a great time, and all the lyrical content was like inspiring me, to do something better for myself and for others, right? Right on. God bless you, brother. Much love, man. Namaste. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for being on, man.
Thanks for joining us.
Y'all have a great one.
Thank you so much for watching. To stay up to date, please click subscribe and hit the bell. You can also join our group on Facebook and find us on LinkedIn and Instagram.